excited in our new series shooting here for Channel 25, and we've provided some fantastic guests in wonderful locations. And how excited are we to be here back with Matt Lamb. So Matt, again, what a fantastic story that you have, and you're a painter and you're so involved in painting. But as you had said that previously you were a funeral home director and involved in all of these businesses, and then you had a bad diagnosis regarding your health, and then you decided to get into painting. Can you tell us more about how important that was and how you truly came to that decision to go to the next step?
My wife Rose and I have been partners and friends and married for, well, 55 years married. But our mothers were the best of friends, so they were pregnant together. I went to her second birthday party. So we really met in the womb. And so we're almost, she could always finish my sentences and I could finish hers. So after I was told that I was going to be one of my customers in the funeral business, I decided I didn't want to die as a funeral director. I wanted to die teaching people what I learned as a funeral director. That really, there's really only one issue, and that's love. Unfulfilled wishes, unfulfilled dreams. I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done that. And I thought the best media is painting, because we all look at something and we all see something different. So my wife and I went to Taos, New Mexico, where we always went to work out our problems. The big rift there, I believe all my spirits live there. So I said to Rose, if I beat this, I'm going to sell everything and I'm going to paint for world peace and to teach what I've learned as an undertaker. So she made the classic statement, you not only lost your health, you lost your mind. You have never painted anything in your life. You don't, how are you going to do this? I said, I have no idea. But I know that the spirit which guides everything in the world, which I really believe in, I will be the arms and the legs. I don't know what I'm going to do because I've never done anything. Therefore, I'm unencumbered about what I can do. I don't want to know the rules. I don't want to know the regulations. I don't want to know the culture. I want to do an archaeological dig inside of me.
Hi, I'm David Leonardis. When I need an attorney, I call Sandy Isaacson, the Bulldog. He gets it done. He's available 24/7, family law, corporate law, divorce, custody, contract negotiation. You need an attorney who gets the job done. My attorney gets it done. He's the Bulldog, Sandy Isaacson. Call him today. All right, more with Matt Lamb. Now, Matt, something that I want to talk to you about, and that it's like you're talking about the art. The art is really, it's your baby, but then as an art dealer, after I've collected the art and I have it in my home, I feel like it's kind of my baby. And then of course, like with children, not that I have any, but the children influence you even though that you give them out. The images that I see in a lot of the paintings that you have, and I know sometimes you also work exclusively abstract, but you have these different series of images that I've sort of seen repeated in different works. And are those images, and this is just fully you, sir, are those images at all out of the spirits of the dead people that are involved, that were around you while you were a mortician?
Possibly. The spirits manifest themselves in many different ways. They usually come to me in dreams and make suggestions about what I should be doing or shouldn't be doing. It sounds very bizarre, but being a funeral director is so bizarre anyway, because every day you wake up to reality that this is it. This isn't a dress rehearsal. This is all you have. And so if something is trying to get through to you, maybe it's all BS, but maybe it isn't. Maybe you better listen, maybe you better at least say there's a possibility that something is happening, and if it's an archaeological dig within myself, then I would say, oh, I'm not going to dig anymore. This is mud, this is crap, there's anything to it. I don't think, in my case, it is. Reality is perception, and perception is reality. So to a lot of people, I'm crazy. That's fine, I don't care. A lot of people, I'm a sage. I don't care that either. The only thing I really care about is being true to who and what I am. If I'm a painter, I don't want to be Picasso, I don't want to be Moreau or anybody else. I want to be the best Matt Lamb I can be. And that means I have to look at myself with all my work. I'm a recovered alcoholic. As a recovered alcoholic, the last one that knows you're an alcoholic is you. Well, I'm not an alcoholic. Well, why are you laying on the ground puking? Well, maybe you are. Well, maybe I'm not. And I smoke 5 packs of cigarettes a day. That's crazy. No wonder I was dying. So the realization of who and what you are is an archaeological dig inside of yourself.
Come on out to the Howard Finster Vision House Museum. We're located in Summerville, Georgia, an hour and a half north of Atlanta, 45 miles south of Chattanooga, 644 miles away from the David Leonardis Gallery, Chicago. I've got 300 pieces of art in my old friend's home. He had a vision from God to paint sacred art. There's a ghost there. You can stay in our bed and breakfast. Come on out and we'll see you in Northwest Georgia. Once again, I hope you enjoy those commercials, but we're back here with Matt Lamb, and each segment is, it's a new realization. So just a couple of questions. You said that sometimes people think that you're crazy, and sometimes people think you're a sage, and you said that you don't really care what they think, but do you think you're crazy or a sage?
I don't, I do a lot of meditation about where I'm going, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. What the general opinion is doesn't really bother me.
Your opinion, sir.
Well, my own opinion is, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. That's my favorite quote of all of the world. My opinion is, it is what it is. I do what I do because I do it, and because I like to do it. But then I'm my biggest critic. I look at it and I think, every painting that I look at before I sign it, I think, if this goes to the Louvre, am I going to be happy? Is it going to represent who I am, what I'm trying to do? Is that name, does that mean something to me? And if it doesn't, I don't sign it. But then when I sign it and I look at it, I say, you know what? If you can't do better than that, you better take up tap dancing. I'm on a voyage. I'm a pilgrim. I have no idea where I'm going, and I really don't care. I know I'm going this way. I know what my mantra is. I'm trying to change the world through art because I look at art as a tool where I work with every different culture, every different religion. And it has to be open to all interpretations.
So how do you feel about the national health care, and are you for it or against it, and why or why not, and do you have health care?
I'm a senior citizen, so I do have Medicare. I think that it's a very complex situation. I think so many things are made political instead of realistic. I believe that if a country is economically strong, to leave anybody out is a mistake. I think that we should take care of the poorest of the poor. I don't think anybody should get a free ride if they can afford to do something. On the other hand, you can say, well, Medicare, billionaires are getting them free. We haven't really come to grips in our society. My whole mission is stopping killing each other, because July 16, 1945, our species invented the atomic bomb. We could blow up the whole world.
We love to sell you some art and production and tell you about art in our commercials, but over here on Chit Chat with David Leonardis, we're really concerned with these serious issues. And off camera, we started talking a little politics with Matt Lamb, and I kind of want to get back to what we were talking about. We were saying how, you know, I'm very much in favor of the national health care, and that I think it's just what's right is right. And how are you thinking that some of the ways that we can overcome our philosophical differences, sir?
Well, first we have to get past them and us. We have a government which is democratic, by the people, for the people. and of the people shall not perish from the earth. I go to I've been in a number of shooting revolutions. When it's all over, there are a lot of people dead. Now, we have a consensus. Hitler threw all the people in the oven. And now everything is over. Well, it's not. We live in a democracy, which means we, me, you, everybody out there, you have a responsibility of finding out what the hell's going on and why. And do your representatives, the people you elect, really by the people, for the people, of the people? Is that what this is about, or is it about something else? And if it's about something else, and you don't agree with it, maybe you should go out and punch some doorbells. I've run political campaigns. I was campaign managers. My wife and I were threatened a lot of times. It's part of it. If you live in a democracy and you really and truly believe you have a vote, well then don't bitch about it when somebody gets in and you haven't voted and you say, oh, that's not what I want. Well, what do you want? Go and do it. Talk is cheap. Get out, walk around, get your folders, get your literature, get involved. If people don't like it, well, that's what a democracy is. But we're all alive at the end. A democracy means we are in charge. When we are not in charge, then we do not have a democracy. Believe me. I go into places where people couldn't say shit if they had a mouthful. Why? Because they'll get killed. That doesn't happen with our. So if you're complaining, maybe you're not doing anything. Stop complaining. People, ooh, look at all this. What about, what about the Tea Party? What about the Democratic? What about the Republicans? What about the Independents? What about it? What are you doing? Oh, I'm sitting here saying,
All right, thanks again. We got a little political that last time, but I had to get it out, and Matt and I were talking about that off camera, and it's good to get it out and exactly to, say what you mean and mean what you say, and that's at least where I'm at with it. All right, we're going to segue differently. Cubs or Sox? Why?
I've never been to a baseball game. I was born in the shadows of Sox Park. I don't know, it just doesn't intrigue me to, I always say watching baseball is like watching paint dry. I know that's a no-no, but it's reality for me. I have my doubts on anything where 100,000 people can stand and put their hand in the rope and say they're number one because somebody took a piece of wood and hit something over a fence. That makes me number one. I think you're number one if you stand up for something you really and truly believe in, or you might get your ass kicked for saying something. But I know that's against the culture, it's against all of that stuff. But I walk my solitary road, and in many cases it's very solitary, and I could lie to you and say, oh yes, absolutely. I was born at 31st and Union. I could walk over to Sox Park, to Kaminsky's, and I'd give you a lot of bullshit. It would be a lot of bullshit.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate your honesty. I had heard that they created sports to keep our mind off of politics. And the one thing that I've noticed, and Matt, I'm a huge baseball fan. I'll be going to the Cubs game later tonight. Last year I went to 43 Cubs home games. This year I'm going to 45 Cubs home games. And but there's a certain camaraderie, and I find that when I get to the park, and for me I always walk down Addison to the park, and right then that feeling of relaxation and putting aside the trials and tribulations that are going on start to go away, at least for those 3 hours. So that's what I find in it. And in Chicago, again, you say you're down there at 31st and Union. There is a lot of interaction, and it's mostly negative between the Cubs and Sox fans. And I bring this up and want to talk about it because I'm a Cubs fan and I don't hate Sox fans, but I fully do not feel that that's the case. And I've found so many Sox fans are just more concerned with the Cubs losing than with their own team. But moreover, they're kind of, you know, beating you down for being a Cubs fan. So that's an issue that is poignant to me, and that's why I talk about it. So I appreciate your honesty about not caring about it, but we've definitely just only scratched the surface on that topic. So.
Well, I'd like to say something about, I don't think we have to be number one by having somebody else number two. I think that is being the best. And that doesn't mean that somebody has to be, there's a great, in The Grinch, when they told him that he won, they said, oh, then there must be losers. I mean, he took so much delight in saying there's losers, not winners. So, you know, is that the human condition? I don't think so. I think we should honor everybody. I don't care if people spend their whole lives. The same thing that you articulated about going down to a game, I get going into my studio.
Right.
When I look at all these paintings, they're talking to me. People think that's crazy. You know, maybe I think taking a stick and hitting a ball is crazy. It's immaterial. If it makes you feel good, do it. You know, unless it's hurting somebody, I don't think it's hurting anybody. One way, me working in my studio or somebody going to a ball game. Great. 100 million of them? Great. It's better than going out and riot and beat the shit out of everybody.
Although sometimes when you get the sports going on, the riots happen. When the Bulls won their last championship, I was out, I came back, my neighbors were all, and well, I like to describe it as they were gangbanging, and they had stolen my van, and it was later found burned.
A sacrificial van.
Yeah, well, that was my Toyota van at the time. So Toyota, if you're out there, feel free to send me another van. I sure could use it. And
I don't want to be the sacrificial lamb.
Oh, the sacrificial! I'm not even sure I caught that. Funny stuff. We add a little humor to go with the seriousness, and I think that we talk about these serious subjects so we can get back to the humor. So here's a question for you. Let's get right into it. Now, you're a self-taught painter. You're extremely prolific. And do you consider yourself an outsider artist? And why or why not? And then after that, we'll ask what the New York Times has to say about it, and Sanford L. Smith with the Outsider Art Fair in New York.
Well, I'm probably not an outsider artist because I was thrown out of the Outsider Art Fair because, I don't know why. I had too much money or something.
I'd just like to interject. I was thrown out of the same Outsider Art Fair. I don't know if you know this. I talked to your daughter Sheila about it, and I had consigned some art to another gallery, and so I wasn't actually exhibiting, and I was consigning the art, and the guy threw me out. So this is something that I'm familiar ground myself, and I thought that these people are just so uptight. And then my next question is going to be about Carl Hammer and what his problem is. But let's go back to outsider art.
Well, anyway, I think Groucho Marx had a great, I wouldn't belong to a club that would have me. So they wouldn't have me, and I'd look on that as sort of probably a great thing. Not that I love the people who are there, and I love the galleries that I had, and all of that. But I hate labels. I hate them with a passion. If there's anything I really hate, it's a label. Let's put a label on somebody. Boop, boop. And now it's so easy. Ooh, look at that person. It's like branding somebody. You're a slave. It's crazy.
Do you feel that you were being branded a slave when you were being branded an outsider artist? Or was that brand really an opportunity to reach out for more art or art exposure? Or do you feel that you were limited then by that outsider art status?
I'm never limited by other people's opinion of what I do. I don't do anything to limit myself because what will they say? They do not exist, and if they do, I don't give a shit what they say. It's immaterial to me. So, what do I think? Am I doing the very best that I possibly can? Can I continue to kid myself? No, not if you start really agitating yourself. Oh, now the king has no clothes. The king can do anything. That's crazy. That's crazy. So let's get labels and put them all on everybody. Then we don't have to think about anything at all. There's a Republican, there's a Democrat, there's an independent, here's a black, here's a white, here's a straight, here's a... I can't keep them all straight in my head. Give me a label.
Welcome to the David Leonardis Gallery, 1346 North Paulina Street, here in Chicago's Wicker Park. We carry contemporary art, pop art, folk art, photography, and a collection of late 19th, early 20th century French lithographs. Next to me is a matte lamp painting. While in Dubai, similar paintings sold for $80 a square inch. That would make it $350,000. Here in Chicago, I'll sell it to you for $17.50 a square inch, $75,000. It looks great in your house. Give me a call, and we'll see you on Paulina Street. Thank you so much for tuning in, and what I like to say is if I offended anybody, I'm sorry, but I figure if you can't laugh at yourself, then what's the point? All right, we'll see you next time.
Hi, this is Dan Shields, owner of Jetty Security and Jetty Investigations. Do you have the need for security for a private event or need some questions answered about someone? Give us a call. 773-341-6030 or look us up on the web, www.jettysecurity.com.